Hello and welcome back to GT Way. You join me in Gran Turismo 7 and we're warping through this race because, well, this one isn't very exciting. I hit a lot of things. As you can see from the stuttering, it was a little glitchy and it's not actually why I wanted to make this video. So, if you watch as we absolutely smash the competition, we get to the point where we unlock just a sensational car. The best car I've driven in the game so far. It is. As soon as we get some Gran Turismo Sport grinding out of the way, it is the one, the only, the imaginary drum roll. It is the not that, though that was very helpful. 15k. Not that either. Ah, there we go. So you get to pick one out of these three cards. Which one will it be? Which car do I end up getting? The Integra Type R. Now that was quite nice to drive, and it worked really well with all the upgrades that I ended up doing it to it. Just damn. Quite a nice car to drive. It's a great change of pace, especially from the Fit that I was driving before. So we go through the cafe. Don't really care. And now we get in our new Integra Type R. That thing is just great. And we're about to take it to the upgrade shop and just spec it out. Here, we just end up picking a lot of performance parts. We're sticking to mostly things like suspension, tires, and lightening up the body. I didn't want to add too much power because I felt like the AI weren't really getting upgraded that much. They just kind of are around that level in the recommended level, that is, and then that's about it. And we start our first race in the Integra Type R. Very stable car. I had some issues earlier just because I had completely turned off ABS, and all the cars I was driving, they would just spin around. Like, tail completely turn around. It's ridiculous. Like, as soon as you tap the brakes, car just like flings itself around. Here though, at Suzuka, we aren't having too much of a problem with that. Earlier in the race you could see it. This is the Suzuka shortened circuit, it looks like. And the car is just very smooth. Just eat some cones. Not too shabby at all. As we pass a Suzuki Swift at Suzuka. So now we're catching another Type R. As you can see, there is quite a huge speed difference. Also, what a weird... A lot of these cars just completely sump forward. I really don't like not being able to control brake bias like you could in Gran Turismo Sport right out the gate. But here, it takes a little while. I'm speaking from experience as I've already made it past this area in the game and ended up buying brake bias for everything. It's just incredible. That, and I kind of just gave up on not using the ABS because I don't have a load cell pedal. And I would like to race hard. And it's really difficult to do so in Gran Turismo. Not sure why. F1 games, Assetto Corsa, Assetto Corsa Competizione, R Factor. A lot of those games, it feels like it's a lot easier to get braking right as we just drift the Integra down this like half flat area. Not too bad. Let's see if we can set a purple last lap. Hopefully aim for a 1 flat. That'd be nice. We're coming to the S's here. Should just be smooth. I was driving with another friend earlier, and right before the apex, they were having issues with the car just fully turning on them, as it does on me right there. Huh. I didn't even remember that was coming. Just blew up that wall. And the guy behind is very kind. It doesn't blow me up as he sees me reverse onto the track. Not too bad at all. A first place finish in the Integra Type R. I even crashed, and it was just that easy. Mind you, I am playing on the highest difficulty Gran Turismo has to offer, which is still kind of a bit flat. But we're doing this all in the pursuit of finally getting into multiplayer and finally being able to race against other players. That will actually be pretty interesting. I'd like to see what racing against other players and cars that can be modded is going to be like. I've heard that earlier on in the game's life cycle, as we just dive on the inside of that Suzuki Swift, earlier on in the game cycle, there were a lot of super overpowered builds, like probably Tomahawks or stuff like that, and people would just race those because somehow they would end up in like an A-class type race, as we just send it on the inside of a fellow Type R, a Mazda. Never seen a Demio around. A Mazda Demio was kind enough to offer us the space as we enter the track again from the outside. And now, going on the long-ish straight. We are slowly catching that Honda Fit 14 that we had just gotten out of. Is that a salmon color or a gold or a beige? Either way, we pass it in the Honda Civic Type R. It wasn't too much of a challenge. The Type R challenges back, but we go wide, protecting our position, and now we're diving, trying to see if we can catch up to Yamanaka. Yamanaka, as we set a purple first sector, going off the track once again. Same place. Did we lose much time? We won't know because I don't end up hot lapping this track. Is that another Integra Type R? It seems like it. The Integra Type R is just out of reach, but we're starting to gain on him. Will we dive on the Integra? I'm going to predict going for the outside move because that's one of my favorite moves on the AI. Nope, it looks like... Oh, it is an outside move. Sensational. Look at that. Going all the way around the outside. The race is over. Integra Type R on Integra Type R. I'm guessing mine much more modified than theirs. And we win the Suzuki Swift. Nice. Not too bad. So we decide, you know what? Get some, or look at those upgrades, and then look at what the cafe wants to tell us. Blah, blah, blah. Lots of things about Japanese cars. Don't really care. Want to get to the next race. So, Cafe's like, hey, you should modify a Mini Cooper. And you know what? I'd love to. Fucking love making minis super fast. The only thing is, I've only got 59,000 credits in the bank. So, I kind of have to spend it pretty wisely. And I didn't because, minis are kind of already super light, if you didn't know. And we spent it all on, or we spent a decent chunk of it on weight reduction. We probably should have spent it all. Yep, there we go. Spending it on some mufflers and engine components. Probably should have gotten all power on the Mini. And then given it a better suspension and better tires. But it's fine, and we're gonna deal with it in this upcoming race. That's right, you heard me correctly. One more race, and guess what? We're gonna be racing in an old Mini Cooper for a newer Mini Cooper. I guess this one's also pretty old now. 2005? Jeez, how long ago was that? 18 years? 18 years! Anyway, we are driving against a bunch of other vaguely British cars. There's a Mini Cooper ahead. Nope. It's a European small or compact cars. Mini Cooper Fiat 500. The Fiat 500 I did win eventually. And I probably should drive it because in real life I've kind of wanted to have one. It's a bit funny because I'm a large dude and all of my friends have always been like, wow, can you imagine you in this tiny ass car? And I'm like, yeah, it would be great. I'd be completely immobile. And then my mom would be like, hey, if you crashed, you'd be dead. And I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, that's probably right. I don't know. But it'd be like dying in a go-kart, which is also probably shitty. But anyway, we're catching up on this other Fiat, the Chungus 500. And look at that. That Mini ahead has a bit of a slide. Oh, it's an Alfa Romeo. I thought it was the old Chungus Fiat 500. Anyway, we dive on the inside of whatever that is, a DS something, and an Alpine. What? Alpine A110. That's a very cool looking car. Definitely gonna be nice to win that later. Anyway, we gun it around this corner. The Mini skating around on those tiny go-kart tires. And we just absolutely smash it. But how hard will we smash it? Because I have a vague recollection of going off. Not at this corner, but the corner previous. That one has given me tons of trouble as I end up sending it way too hard and always end up in the barrier. Meeting old barrier. That's right. We're catching a Peugeot CRZ, a kind of cool looking car. It's French, so it can't be completely cool. Braking. Will we get it around the outside? Nope. We do catch it pretty easily though. The upgraded brakes and suspension doing some work. Where we going around the outside? Are we doing a legal move? That would be surprising. Not really. We kind of go off track there. I don't know if that counts as off track though, because in GTS, you could definitely use that as part of qualifying. So I'm guessing maybe you could use that as part of overtaking as well. Anyway, we make it around my trouble corner perfectly fine and gun it to the finish. In third place, winning a newer Mini Cooper in an ancient Mini Cooper. There you have it. Third place. One more car down. And that's all we have time for. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time. I'm gonna go get a sushi bowl. And I am extremely excited. Bye.